Good afternoon, students.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
So in the last class, we discussed the meaning of cryptography. So where exactly the cryptography techniques will be used. So mainly, when the communication is happened between the sender and receiver, and the communication channel is the insecure channel or a public channel or internet. So in order to transmit the data, instead of sending the direct original data, it converts the data into an understandable format. So there the cryptography will take place, and it provides security over the network. So in order to convert, so it uses the terminology like the message. So there will be two persons. One is the sender, the other one is the receiver. So the message or the data, whichever is sent by the sender, will be called as plain text, isn't it? So here we just discussed the scenario where the sender is Alice and the receiver is Bob, and how the communication will be happened using an insecure channel. And so when insecure channel is used, opponent will be there. So in this scenario, Oscar is the name of the opponent. Opponent will receive the transmitted text over the insecure channel. So in this terminology, the transmitted text is called as the ciphertext, and the text which is there, the original message is called as the plain text, and the transmitted text is called as the ciphertext, and that will be received by the Bob, and Bob uses some techniques in order to convert that into the plain text. So the entire scenario, so what it is going to use is, it uses algorithms, encryption algorithms, and at sender side, Alice converts the original message into an understandable format. So that the procedure is called as encryption. Whereas at receiver side, receiver will receive the ciphertext that will be converted to the plain text. So in order to convert that, Bob uses some algorithms. That technique, the process is called as the decryption. So this encryption will be done at Alice side, sender side, and the decryption will take place at receiver side. And the message, the understandable message and ununderstandable message, the terminology is plain text and ciphertext. Though these two are using different algorithms, encryption and decryption algorithms, both sender and receiver will use a key. Okay, both will use a key. So this key will be communicated over a secure channel between Alice and Bob. This key will not be available to the opponent, Oscar, isn't it? So this thing we have discussed here. X is the plain text, Y is the ciphertext, and this Bob will receive Y, and that will be converted to the X again using decryption algorithm. And in order to convert this X to Y along with the encryption algorithm, Alice is using a key, that is K. K is used in the conversion of plain text to ciphertext. In the same manner, K will be used at the decryption also. K will be used in order to convert Y to X. K will be used, but this key will not be known to the Oscar, so that Oscar will use some other key. Instead of K, we'll use some other key. So whenever we use a different key on a particular ciphertext, Oscar will retrieve other text apart from the plain text X. Oscar will receive X dash, isn't it? So this thing we discussed in the last class. So in order to retrieve the data in a proper manner, and opponent will retrieve the data in proper manner. So the proper communication is called as the cryptography. So both the proper and improper communication is the cryptology. So if it is done in a proper manner between the sender and the receiver, that technique is called as the cryptography. And the technical person is called as the cryptographer. And if it is done in an improper manner, that is called as the cryptanalysis. So cryptanalysis means the third person, opponent or the hacker, is going to retrieve the original text. Okay, so that is the cryptanalysis, and the technical person is called as the cryptanalyst. So these techniques we did not discuss till now. We'll discuss later in this, what is symmetric and asymmetric and all. Before that, we should know some terms in this security, information security. So security will be provided for the information or data, isn't it? Security to be provided to the data. So data may be in the form of a file, so whatever. So data may be in the form of a text file, audio, video, so whatever it is. So we need to provide a security. So security should be provided at different levels. So security should be provided to the files which are existed inside a computer, or a security should be provided over the organization. So where the different multiple systems are connected using the LAN, or security should be provided to the data which is transmitted over the internet. Okay, so at all these levels, security should be provided. So first type is a computer security. So just by using some automated tools, so we antivirus and all automated tools, we can provide a security to our files. So network security, again, by using some automated tools within the organization, so security can be provided for the files or the data which is available which is transmitted between the users of the organization. And how the security will be provided whenever the data is transmitted over the internet. That internet security is also called as the information security. That information will be transmitted over the network or the internet. So it measures to protect the data during the transmission over the collection of interconnected networks. So interconnected networks will be there. So in order to transmit data from the sender to the receiver using the internet. So security should be provided at individual unit at every connected network. Okay, so in order to provide the security, so first of all, we have to ensure that we need to prevent the data, okay, from the violation of security. So if it is done, we have to detect, so the security, we have to detect the attack. So suppose if security is violated, so if any attack is happened, so we have to detect the attack. So which type of attack is happened, where the attack is happened and all. And once it is happened, so we have to retrieve the data. So here, so it should be done at organization level. Okay. So if the data, if we are going to consider a particular organization, it should be done at the organization level. And so if it is transmitted over the network, again, it has to provide the security to the data. So in order to provide the security, so what need to consider? So providing the security is nothing but it has to ensure that there is a confidentiality is existed. Okay, confidentiality is existed in the communication, or integrity is there. So it has to ensure all these things: confidentiality, integrity, and availability of the data. So what is meant by confidentiality? So yes, what is meant by confidentiality? Simply just confidentiality means whatever the data is transmitted, So both, so transmitted between the sender and receiver, right? So first it has to check whether both the users are authorized users or not. So it should not be transmitted over the unauthorized users. Then the confidentiality will be provided. So means it has to check the permissions of the users. So which type of permissions are there for users? So are the users are authorized to modify or to read, to write the content, to update. So whatever, it has to give it has to check the authorization of the users. And also it has to check the integrity. So integrity should be provided. So when the data is transmitted, integrity should be provided. So integrity is nothing but, so once both sender and receiver are authorized users, then whatever the data transmitted from the sender to the receiver has to give acknowledgement. Once the receiver receives the message, receiver has to give the acknowledgement. Then the sender will send the data again. So the communication will take place. Means it has to give some acknowledgement to the data sent by the sender. Along with the acknowledgement, and there should be some reliability. Okay, so giving acknowledgement itself is nothing but the reliability will be existed. So that integrity should be provided. Okay, so every time, so whenever the data is transmitted between the users, it has to check whether it is authorized or not. Okay, it is authorized or not, and whether it is getting any acknowledgement or not. Once it gets the acknowledgement, then only the sender has to send the information again and again. So that is called as the integrity. And coming to the third technique is availability. So once these two are authorized persons, then it has to provide the service in order to transmit the data. It has to provide some resources and services, security. It has to provide some security services. So the service should not be denied. Once the connection is established between the sender and the receiver and both are authorized, then it should not deny the service. So till the end of the communication, that is called as the availability. So these three things should be existed. So in order to provide, so ensure the security, so it has to provide the confidentiality, integrity, and the availability. So this is called as the CIA trade. Okay, so this is called as the CIA trade. So in order to provide the security, so these three things should be provided. So this is the relationship between the confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Whatever the services it is going to provide, so all services should be provided in order to provide the confidentiality, integrity, and the availability. And so this security, so providing security should be happen in every organization. So when the data is transmitted over the internet, so it has to provide the security. So here there is the architecture, OSI architecture. So OSI has different protocols, right? So it uses different protocols in order to provide the security. So here there is a architecture called ITU X.800 architecture. So it specifies what the security, which type of techniques it is going to use in order to provide the security when the data is transmitted over the network. So the techniques which are used by this OSI architecture is, ITU-T architecture is, so it provides, it specifies the security attacks, which type of security attacks will be happen, and what type of mechanisms will be used, and how the services will be provided, which type of services will be provided in order to give the security, and what are the different types of security attacks. Okay, so we'll see all these things. What are the different types of security attacks, security mechanisms, and security services. So first type is the security attack. Which type of attacks will be happened? So when the communication takes place between the sender and receiver, so when the data is transmitted over the network, so this data will be in which format? This data is called as a ciphertext. Okay, you have to remember that the data transmitted over the network is called as the ciphertext. When this ciphertext is transmitted over the network, there will be opponent, isn't it? There will be opponent. The opponent will receive the ciphertext. When the opponent receives the ciphertext, so the opponent may perform some security attacks. Means opponent can modify the data. So whatever the ciphertext is there, opponent can receive, retrieve before going to receive. The sender and receiver will be there. So before it reaches the receiver, so opponent will capture the data, the ciphertext, and opponent can modify it, and it can send to the receiver, or opponent simply takes the ciphertext and it will observe. So which type of data is transmitted between them. So like that, based on the observations of the opponent, so security attacks are again divided. So first we'll see the definition. Security attack. It is an action that compromises the security of information owned by an organization. Okay, so the receiver may not receive the exact information whatever sent by the sender when the security attack is happened. So information security is nothing but how to prevent attacks, or failing that, detecting, how to detect the attacks. So here we'll see different types of security attacks. See, the classification of security attacks. So security attacks are divided into two types. Mainly, security attacks are divided into two types. One is the passive attacks. Second one is the active attacks. So what is meant by passive attack and what is meant by active attack? Means in passive attacks, it will perform eavesdropping, monitoring. Okay, so what it will, opponent will not do any modifications and all. Instead, it will, opponent will observe the data, which type of data is transmitted over the network. Simply, it is going to, the opponent will perform monitoring of the data. Okay, so that is the passive attack. Coming to the active attack, in active attacks, data will be modified, modification of data. Opponent will modify the data. Whatever the data, ciphertext retrieved by the opponent, that will be modified by the opponent. So later, that modified text can be received by the receiver. Okay, so based on the modification, based on the observations or the monitoring or the modifications of data. So there are two types, passive attacks as well as the active attacks. Again, the passive attacks are divided into two types. One is release of message contents. The other one is traffic analysis. Release of message contents and traffic analysis. We'll see. So what is a release of message contents and what is a traffic analysis? See. So this is the scenario of release of message contents. So here, two persons. So in this scenario, Bob, who is the sender and who is the receiver in this scenario? Can anybody tell? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Is who is sender and who is receiver in this scenario?
Bob is sender and Alice.
Alice is receiver.
Receiver, right? So here communication is there between Bob and sender using the internet, isn't it? So we can consider this as an insecure channel. So how the attack will be happen is, here the opponent is Darth. Darth is the opponent. So message is sent by the Bob, but what the same message will be received by the Darth opponent. What the opponent is going to do is simply his opponent will read the content of message from Bob. Simply read the content. Okay. So by reading the content, whatever the series of messages transmitted from Bob to Alice, so all the messages will be read by the Darth, but Darth will not do anything. Simply Darth will read the contents so that Darth will get some idea about the communication. But you remember that this is not the original text. The data transmitted is the ciphertext. Though it is an understandable format, Darth opponent will read the entire content, and based on that, later, so he'll perform some other attack. So initially, what it is going to do is, it is capturing the data from the network and reading the content which is sent by the Bob. So coming to the second one of passive attacks is traffic analysis. So what is meant by this traffic analysis is simply it observes, Darth observes the pattern of messages from the Bob to Alice. What type of pattern? Suppose if there is a sentence, Darth will observe that if there is a word, how many times the word is repeated in a sentence. Or if there is an alphabet, how many times the alphabet is repeated in a word or in a sentence. Like that, Darth will observe the pattern of messages, how frequently the word is used in a sentence, and how frequently the sentence will be used in the entire communication. So that by observing the pattern, by observing the words or the alphabets, so Darth will have some analysis. So by observing that, he'll get some idea or the analysis of the patterns. He'll have the analysis. So this is one of the passive attacks. Here, the Darth is not modifying anything, so is not disturbing the communication between the Bob and Alice. Simply, sometimes Darth is reading the message, or sometimes Darth is observing the patterns. Okay, the frequent words, the frequent alphabets, like that. So this is called as the passive attack. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
So coming to the second category is active attacks. So in active attacks, instead of reading and observing, so the third person or the opponent will try to modify the content, isn't it? So active attack means modification will take place, whereas in passive attacks, only monitoring will take place. So the first type of active attack is the masquerade. So what will happen in masquerade? So how the attack will be happened is, this Bob is the sender. Actually, Bob is the sender and receiver. Alice is a receiver. But there is no communication takes place. I mean, Bob is not sending any message at this moment of time. So what the communication is, simply Alice is receiving some message. Okay. So if you observe this diagram, Bob is not sending any message, but Alice is receiving some message. And that message will be received from where? Alice is receiving the message from Darth. Okay, so means this is the opponent. So what the Darth is doing is in masquerade attack, message from Darth that appears to be from Bob. Simply Darth will create some message and Darth will give the identity as Bob. So what Alice will think? Alice will think that the message is from Bob. Okay, because the identity, whose identity is there? Identity is Bob's identity. So identity is Bob's identity, so that Alice will think that the message is from Bob. Means, according to that, so what are the message received by the Alice? According to that, Alice may send some acknowledgement or some reply to the Bob. So this is one type of the active attack. Okay, again, so whenever Alice is sending the reply to Bob, so that reply may be received by the Darth, so that Darth will get the intention of the whatever the data is there at Alice, that data will be received by the Darth. So whatever, so the next communication will be happen based on the initial message of the Darth. So this is called as the masquerade. Second type of active attack is replay. Second type is the replay. So what will happen in replay is communication is there between Alice, Bob and Alice. Bob is sending the messages to Alice. So whatever the message sent by the Bob, initially that will be received by the Darth. And Darth will capture the message from Bob and later replay the message to Alice. Means Darth is not going to change any message. Darth will transmit the message as it is, whatever is received by the Bob. But Darth will not send it immediately. Instead, after some time, first Darth will capture the message. After some time, Darth will send to Alice. So meanwhile, so before going to received by the Alice, that may be sent to some other people. Okay. Simply, it is, Darth is replaying the message just by observing, just by capturing, by giving some time. So if you observe the timestamp, actually, if Bob is sent at some timestamp T1, so Alice should receive. So if T1 is a timestamp sent by Bob and T2 should be the timestamp received by the Alice. Okay, received by the Alice. But what Darth is doing is at T2, timestamp T2, the message will be received by the Darth. At timestamp T3, Alice will receive the message. Actually, Alice has to receive at timestamp T2, but it is not received. At timestamp T3, Alice will receive the message. So meanwhile, so when Darth is receiving the message, so that message can be can be forwarded to so many people, or so whatever the intention of Darth is there, Darth can do. But here directly it is not transmitted within the timestamp. Instead, Darth will receive the message. After some time, Darth will replay the message, resend the message to the Alice. So this is the second type of the active attack. Coming to the third type of active attack is modification of messages. So if you observe the scenario, Bob is trying to send the message to Alice, but the message was received by Darth. Okay, Darth received the message and Darth modifies the message. What are the message received? So simply Darth is modifying the message, and that modified message, a new message will be sent to Alice. But the identity will be there. Whose identity will be there? Here in this also scenario also, Bob identity will be there. So already identity is there. So Bob is sending with some signature, digital signature, or whatever identity is there, is sending with that. But what Darth is doing is simply Darth is modifying the content. so that Alice will think that that message is from, whatever the content is there, the content is from Bob only. So this type of attack will be mainly happen in banking applications and some e-commerce websites. So nowadays, many types of attacks will be there in our real time, isn't it? So this type of attack is called as the modification of messages, isn't it? Coming to the fourth type of technique is called denial of service. So here, instead of the sender and receiver, so here in this receiver is nothing but some server. So receiver is server. So what the responsibility of server? Server will take all the requests from the clients. Okay. So there will be multiple clients. So server will take all the requests from the clients and it will provide services to the clients. So what Bob is going to do is Bob will give some request to the server. Okay, Bob will send some request to the server. So whatever the request is there, so before going to reach to the server, before going to reach that request to the server, what Dart is going to do is Dart will disrupts the service provided by the server. How the Dart disrupts the service provided by the server is Dart will make the server busy, in the sense before going to reach the request of Bob to the server, Dart will send some requests to the server. Dart will send some requests, a number of requests to the server. So that what is the responsibility of the server? It has to provide the services to the clients. So server will provide the services. So what are the requests came from the Dart? So all the requests, server will provide the services to the Dart. Means if the number of requests are more, the server will keep on giving the services to the Dart. But meanwhile, so whenever it is giving the providing services to the Dart, so the server will be busy, isn't it? The server will be busy so that the request of Bob will not take place. Means server will not provide any service to the Bob. Means it will deny the service of the Bob, isn't it? Understood? So this is the fourth technique. Is there any doubt in understood all security attacks? How many types of security attacks are there? Why? No response. Last hour effect. Hello, are you there or not?
Too small.
Understood all security attacks or not? Is there any doubt? This one. Yes. So there are two types of security attacks. So passive attacks, active attacks. So passive attacks are divided into two types again. Release of message contents, traffic analysis. Active attacks are divided into four types. Masquerade, replay previous messages, modification of messages, and denial of service. Understood? Is there any doubt?
Understood.
Okay. So these are the security attacks. So coming to, so as I said, so OSI architecture will provide security attacks and it will provide security mechanisms and security services. Okay, it will provide the security mechanisms and services. So in order to provide the security, so whenever the attack is happened or before, in order to prevent the attacks or detect the attacks, it provides some services and the mechanisms. So the mechanisms which are provided, the security mechanisms are mainly the cryptographic mechanisms. Like it uses different types of cryptography techniques. Okay, it uses different types of cryptography techniques. So we'll see the security mechanisms. So if you see the definition of security mechanism, so it's a process that is designed to detect and to prevent or to recover from the security attacks. So it prevents or it detects. So when the attack is happening, it detects or it recovers from the attack. So the entire, what the mechanism is going to specify. So there will be many types of security mechanisms. The ultimate goal of the security mechanism is it has to detect or prevent the recover. So no single mechanism that will support all functions required. One particular element underlies many security. So here mainly it uses the cryptography techniques. Security mechanisms will be provided using the cryptography techniques. So we'll see the security mechanisms. So these are the different types of security mechanisms. So these security mechanisms will be based on the protocols which are there in the OSI model. So these are specific to some protocols. Some mechanisms are specific to some protocols and some are not specific to the set of protocols. Like TCP, like some TCP/IP protocol. Some mechanisms will be specific to TCP/IP protocol. Some mechanisms will be specific to application layer protocols, like that. So some mechanisms are not specific to any protocol. So it will be implemented at all levels of protocols, at all levels of the OSI architecture. So here security mechanisms. So first type is the specific security mechanisms. Pervasive security mechanism. Pervasive security mechanism. So specific security mechanisms are protocol based. These are belongs to the specific protocol. Okay, this belongs to specific protocol like TCP/IP or the application level protocols, and these will not belongs to any specific protocol. So what type of mechanisms will be provided is, so it provides encipherment. So what is meant by encipherment is, so it uses some mathematical notations and it converts the text. Okay, it converts the text. So it converts the text. So what it is going to do is it uses in encipherment. So encipherment is nothing but it uses some algorithms, mathematical algorithms, and it transmits the data into the ununderstandable format. And here, in order to provide the mechanism, it uses some keys. So in the last session, we discussed in order to convert plain text to ciphertext, it uses the technique encryption, right? So in the same manner, so here it uses some mathematical algorithms. Some algorithms will be used, encryption algorithms will be used, and these encryption algorithms will use some keys, encryption keys. By using one or multiple keys, the mechanism will be provided. So we'll discuss the entire subject will be about, 2 to 3 chapters will be about the encipherment techniques only. Coming to the second type of security mechanism is the digital signature. So whatever the data is transmitted over the network, it provides the digital signature. means the identity of the user. So it provides some data to the original existed text, to the original data. It appends some data. So that is the digital signature will be added to the data. So in order to, so when the receiver is receiving the data, so receiver will know that the data is from the authorized person. Okay, from the authorized person. How the receiver is going to identify is there will be a digital signature. Okay, so digital signature will be there, and this whenever the digital signature is there attached with the transmitted data, integrity will also be provided, isn't it? So when the digital signature is there, receiver will know that this is from the authorized. So the reliability will be existed between the sender and the receiver. So the digital signature will provide the integrity as well. And coming to the third type of mechanism is a access control. So here it provides some access rights or the access controls to the sender and the receiver. So in order to provide this access control, again it uses different types of mechanism. So it uses some resources and also it enforces some access rights. Okay, it enforces some access rights to the sender and the receiver. And coming to the next security mechanism, that is the data integrity. So data integrity will be provided. This mechanism will be provided again by using a set of techniques. Okay, so here it assures the data integrity. Okay, again it assures the data integrity between the sender and the receiver, and it uses different types of techniques. And coming to the next mechanism, authentication exchange. Both the sender and the receiver will between the sender and the receiver, data transmission will be takes place. So sometimes the authentication exchange will be happen. So whether the sender is a authenticated user or not, and the receiver is an authenticated user or not, the authentication details will be exchanged between the sender as well as the receiver. Okay, so in that manner, if you observe, suppose when you are going to register for a particular website, so if you can go through some when you are going to sign up, sometimes it will ask you can go through with your mail, Gmail, or you can go through with your LinkedIn, or you can go through with your Facebook, like that. So there you have to provide your Gmail ID, isn't it? You have to provide your Gmail ID, or you have to provide your LinkedIn profile ID, like that. So you have to give your authentication details. Okay, so that one. So in order to so that communication will takes place, the sender and receiver will exchange the authentication details. So coming to the next mechanism, that is the traffic padding. So what is meant by traffic padding is it will insert some data. Okay, it will insert some data. So where it is going to insert the data is wherever the gaps are occurred in between the data. So what are the original text is there, it will be there in the form of a stream of text. The data will be in the stream of text, right? So in that data stream, so wherever it identifies the gaps, so it will insert some bits. It will insert some data in terms of the bits. So it will insert some bits so that so that it provides some security mechanism. Okay, so along with the information, or along with the data, whatever is exchanged between the sender and receiver, it will insert some bits. So where it is going to insert is wherever the gaps are identified between the data string, it inserts. Coming to the next type of security mechanism is the routing control. So routing control means once the data is transmitted over the network, that network, so if it is internet, it is a collection of interconnected networks again, right? So there will be multiple networks. So here it will specify the path, whatever the path specified initially. So it can change the path. Okay, it can change the path. So, before going to received by the receiver, so it can specify the, it can change the path. So that mechanism will be provided. That is called as the routing control. Coming to the next security mechanism, that is notarization. So notarization means, so here between the sender and receiver, so whenever the data is transmitted, so it uses a third party. Okay, it uses a trusted third party. Okay, in order to exchange the data between the sender and receiver, it uses a trusted third party so that the third party, trusted third party will provide the security to the data. So this is one type of the mechanism. So all these mechanisms are specific to a particular protocol of OSI layer. Coming to the pervasive security mechanisms. So these are not specific to a particular protocol. Okay. So here the techniques, the mechanisms are trusted functionality and security labels. It uses event detection. It uses security audit trials and it uses security recovery. So what is meant by trusted functionality is, so it uses some criteria. Okay, trusted functionality means it uses some criteria. So in order to establish the connection between the sender and the receiver. Coming to the security labels. So it will attach the label to the existed text. Okay. So like the digital signature, so it will specify some security attributes or security labels will be attached to the text. And event detection. So what it is going to do is it will identify the security relevant events. So it identifies the security relevant events and that will be provided. And security audit trial. So what it is going to do is it collects data and it will provide some audit. Okay, it will provide the audit. So between before going to transmit the data. Okay, so in the transmission of data, it provides some audit so that it is going to provide the security. And finally, the security recovery. So what it is going to do is, again, it will apply some mechanism and it will use some event handling and it applies some functions and it applies some functions. So in order to provide the recovery of the data. So these are the different types of security mechanisms. So mainly the security mechanisms will be the entire will be focused on encipherment and digital signature. We'll discuss these two things. How the encipherment mechanism will be provided, how the digital signature will be provided. Okay. So just you can go through with the definitions. As of now, you just go through with the definitions. The detailed explanation of these security mechanisms will come in the next, the coming chapters, modules like module 1, 2, module 3 will talk about digital signature. So we'll see that. As of now, you just go through with the definitions. Okay. So what we discussed in this class, so we just discussed the security concepts like how to provide the confidentiality, what is meant by confidentiality, integrity, and availability, and how the OSI layers will ensure this security attacks, how it is going to provide the mechanisms and the services. We'll discuss services in the next class. So what are the different types of security attacks? The main two types, and again they are divided into two types: passive attacks and active attacks are again divided into 4 types. So how the attack will be happen and what the different types of security mechanisms. Is there any doubt? Hello, are you there?
No, ma'am. No doubt.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. If you have any doubts, you can stay. Otherwise, you can leave. Thank you.